Welcome in, Jade. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. I think it needs a little more cowbell. Tonight's punchline is, third time's the charm. There's apparently a message that is going to be in this reading tonight that does not want to come out. Usually when I have problems like this, there's usually a doozy. There's probably going to be some tea spilled tonight. This is a karmic. If you are not a karmic, you're probably in your divine energy. This reading is probably for you. Because most divine people are dealing with a bunch of X right now. This is for water signs. Okay? However, to be honest, this could be a cross-watching video, and you don't have to be a water sign. For this particular reading, just like the air signs read, it's a karmic read. So you could be any sign dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So all my divine water signs, chances are you might get triggered in this one. I know the air signs got triggered in the last one. But you should only get triggered if you're karmic. Alright? And I'm not naturally trying to trigger you. I talk on karmic energy. So, if you're a karmic, chances are you're going to be triggered. If you're not a karmic, or at least you're willing to look at yourself, chances are you're not going to get triggered. If you find that you get triggered, reflect on it. Is there anything about myself as to, question as to why you're getting triggered? Alright? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. There's definitely some karmic water signs that do not want information coming out. The tea's going to be probably hot tonight. It's probably going to be as hot as my coffee. In case you missed, last night's read was on the air signs. Realize that we're dealing with a bunch of karmics. If we're stepping into our warrior or our authentic version of ourselves, we're dealing with a bunch of karmics. Because they don't want to see us win. They don't want to see us in a position of any type of power or any type of integrity. They just want us, not in a good space. They get great enjoyment watching us suffer. Pay attention, Vaughn. Typical. 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 So, divine Scorpios, Cancers, and Pisces. If you're dealing with another water sign, that's great. But any of my readings, doesn't matter which one you listen to, if my readings trigger you at all to make you dislike my videos, you might want to question why it's triggering you. Okay? Because I think there's a lesson in it somewhere. And unless we reflect on those lessons, we're never going to learn anything. That's just the way it goes. We'll just wait a couple for everybody to jump in the chat. I'll do my little shout outs. Welcome in, Emma. Welcome in, Max. Big Irish. Maureen. Vaughn. Willow. Lisa. Jade. Welcome in, everybody. Never thought to take out my Karmic chicken deck last night, but I'm going to do it tonight. Because Spirit said, what the hell? Why did you forget the Karmic chicken deck? I was on taking it out last night too, and I didn't understand why. I found... Welcome in, Inked. Michael. Everybody's doing alright. Apparently somebody's a danger to society, or so the rumor goes. The Karmics are saying. But really, how far do they want to go? How much do they really want to fuck around? How do they want to find out? Oh, Bones. Thank you so much. Cheers, buddy. Cheers to the beers. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so I got 21 in the chat now. This is the Karmic water signs read, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If you just happen to be one of those signs, don't get triggered. Don't get offended about what I'm going to say tonight. The tea's going to be hot. Took me times to get this uploaded and going. So, it is what it is. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm is a message going to the divine ones. Okay, those are my leaders, my earth angels, my warriors, my shamans, my chosen. Okay. You're not late. Oh, there, Shelley. It's good. Hey, Shelley, this is going to sound weird, but you should try talking to your flowers. Get to know them a little bit more personally. Open your mind to possibly hearing some sort of messages. There's apparently a video probably going viral. Or it could have been banned and silenced. About somebody going out to a tree and asking the tree, if you can hear me, touch my hand. And you just put your... So it goes close to the branch. And usually the tree will bend and they'll touch your hand. Well, you don't have to, but it's all good. Great Spirit, protectors, angels, ancestors, divine light, please be here to provide a message and to protect me during this message. Let us then stay 10 steps from our haters. Let us prevail amongst the chaos. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your guidance. Allowing me to shine my light. Allowing me to provide messages for the collective of what we know right now. To stand 10 steps ahead of our haters. Again, tonight is a water signs read. So you could be a water sign and you could be dealing with another water sign. If the case, you can watch. Just take it with a grain of salt, okay? So cheater, pumpkin. Somebody's dealing with a cheater. Somebody could have a toxic mother. Somebody could be a star seed. Somebody could be dealing with a Virgo or associated with a Virgo. A Cancer. Love bouncer. Toxic traits due to a toxic family. Mr. or Mrs. Destructo, supervillain, otherwise known as the Reversed Empress or Reversed Emperor. Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right, so what I'm getting here is there was some sort of dealings between a Cancer and a Virgo to plot against you. And it's kind of funny that I said that I was earth signs tonight and I switched it to water signs. And both earth and water come out tonight in the karmic deck here. So somebody's lying about a starseed. They thought by love bombing somebody, they were going to get away with something. But somebody was cheating. Okay? As well, they haven't healed, whoever this karmic is, they haven't healed from their toxic mother. for one. There's toxic traits within their family that they haven't healed from. I'm really getting a feeling of like being drunk, and I haven't drank. Hell, I had a celebratory drink, what, a week, 2 weeks ago? But it was just one. It was a triple shot, but it was one. Anyway. But I'm getting a feeling of drinking. Like I can almost, it's almost like tasting alcohol. Okay? Like strong alcohol. Not just beer. Okay? Like I'm talking liquor. So they're trying to love bar seed. And it's basically in order to cheat them out. And as well to basically destroy them. Okay? So that's the situation. I'm going to start off with the karmic chicken just to start off the vibe, and I'm going to do a vibe check as well. What's the vibe, Spirit? What do we need to know? We got vacay at the bottom of the deck. You might be thinking on going on a vacation. You've dropped this resentful, competitive discontentment that they wanted you to be in. Okay? You're done with bullshit, collective. The ones that I'm talking to right now, I'm talking to the divines, okay? And we're talking about the karmics, of what their back-end deals were, what we need to know, what's been hidden from us, from that. Somebody wanted you in isolation and suffering in silence, okay? They didn't want you speaking, they didn't want you shining, they didn't want anything like that, but you've totally healed, collective. You've done well for yourself. That's the feeling I'm getting. Okay? But somebody clearly wanted you in isolation, and maybe you ended up having to put yourself in isolation. But they wanted you to feel rejected, left alone, and self-inflicted, but you were actually healing. Unbeknownst to them. Okay? They thought they were putting you in your field, and you were actually finding harmony. Right? So, in a sense, maybe you were masking yourself to some degree. You might be concealing, deceiving the deceivers for a change. But I have a feeling somebody was masking. They were trying to deceive you at the same time. Okay? What else is going on? Island boy. Welcome in. Yeah, somebody went on a vacation and it didn't turn as good as it was supposed to. Okay? And somebody's missing you. They want to talk and they want a reunion with you. This is the karmic that wants a reunion with you. Okay, what's going on? What is going on? You're no longer suffering in silence, collective. You're actually looking for some sort of mutual respect and unity. Get close to people again, maybe because of this isolation. You'll be social again. Somebody wants you to be stagnant. They want you hitting a dead end, right? So they're probably throwing energy at you as much as they can. They want you in a disharmony. But you're not playing stupid games anymore, right? You're not gambling away your life. I don't think you ever were. You're focused on what was important to you. And people didn't like that. You've dropped the bitterness, the anger, the pettiness, and you've stepped into your divine energy. And you're doing quite well for yourself, collective, and I'm proud of you. Okay? You're taking some time to slow down. Maybe smell the roses. Maybe get out in nature. And if not, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, you're coming out of isolation. And you're finding balance, whether they like it or not. You're no longer stressed out, no more worry and migraines. Okay? You're into a new energy. You're not allowing these dumbasses to get to you. You're not drowning. You're not over your head. You're not overextended. And I'm hearing Archangel Michael in the background. You're not hitting rock bottom. You're divinely guided, guarded, and protected for who this message is for. Okay? All right. Let's see if there's anything else. So you could very well identify as a starseed. You probably don't feel like you're at home. You probably don't feel like you've ever felt at home, no matter where you went, no matter where you lived. You always kind of felt out of place. You felt like you were different. And it's not a fact that, there was anything wrong with being different. But it's almost as if it's kind of like you could never see eye to eye with other people. Okay? So, it is what it is. You might be having a hard time shining your light. Now, you could toxic family, and you've been dealing with some toxic traits as well. You could have a toxic mother. Okay? You might be downplaying yourself. You might be kind of being a bit of a perfectionist. You could have not a Leo, but maybe Leo. I don't know. But you could have Virgo rising with Cancer. Who knows? You could have a Virgo moon. Either way, Cancer could be your rising. Either way, you've dealt with a lot of cheaters. You've dealt with a lot of people that were very selfish in your energy. You've dealt with a lot of people that were very much in the chaos. You've dealt with people that uh, really made you question whether or not you wanted to people or not. As in, be social. Okay? We got Nine of Swords. You've gone through a major awakening, I think. Nine of Swords in the reverse. You've had no other choice. You were kind of pushed into it. And I think healing from this toxic dynamic has been probably one of your biggest challenges in your existence or your life. Okay? For who this message is for. Very could be talking to my star seeds tonight. All right. What's going on with the situation with the lies? Who's lying on my collective and what are the lies? They wanted you to miss out. Or they could be missing out on being in your energy. Maybe you cut them off, collective. Maybe you cut them out of your energy. Okay? But it's like somebody's missing out. The ship that they're waiting for is not coming in. Okay? It's kind of like they've worked really hard. They've collaborated with certain particular people to bring about a certain end. You. Okay? They've had people come in and love bomb you to break your heart. Love bomb you and bounce. They cheated on you. They lied on you. Okay? Could be a Cancer, could be a Virgo involved with this. You could be a Cancer or Virgo. Put it where it belongs. Either way, there's a lot of toxic traits due to a toxic family involved. There's a lot of destruction, a lot of tyrannical, very self-sabotaging and sabotaging kind of energy in this reading tonight. Okay? This could, you could have a toxic mother, a Cancer, and there very well could be a cheating Virgo by chance. Who knows? But the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. So this is about missing out on, taking away your foundation, taking away your prosperity, take away what's meaningful to you. They're missing out on that. They tried to lie on you regarding whatever this might be, whatever you've been working on really, really hard to bring about. They wanted you to miss out on it. They wanted all the work that you've done for nothing. They've collaborated against you with other people to do it too, to bring this demise, to make sure that you don't get this Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this could have been a job. This could have been a house. This could have been money, because they wanted their hands on it. What else are they lying about? Five of Cups. You might have put them in their place, and they're not happy with it. Okay? And they're making like a victim. They're making like you broke their heart. You're making like, they're making like, you hurt them when they absolutely shattered you. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm not impressed with the Middle East. I'm not impressed with any of you over there. Just gonna say that. I'm actually embarrassed. Honest. Anybody that thinks that war is the answer, they'll be ashamed of themselves. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Six of Wands. There very well could be an air sign here involved too. King of Swords. But I think this is something tying in with the lies and the deception. And I think there may have been an air sign, King of Swords, involved in trying to bring about a demise to your success, collective. I think there's quite a few different people that is in regards to this. It was all a big, huge orchestration to bring about some sort of a demise. What else about the lies? The Six of Wands. You exposed the bullshit, or you're exposing it now. You've already exposed it. And this is what they're so pissed off and mad and sad about. Because you exposed their lies. You exposed, and they missed out on taking you out and bringing you to your demise, Starseed. Okay? They planted these lies so you would miss out. And they wanted to break your heart. Welcome back, Art Taylor. Welcome to membership chat level. Welcome in, Ryan. Welcome in, Sheila. Yeah, Five of Swords. Now they have some sort of idea to come in and file. But I have a feeling that it has something to do with a love bombing. They're just going to come in and love bomb you and bounce. There's no commitment here. It's to get you to, it's to get you to get off track. They want you in your emotions, so that way they can manipulate you again. Like, what else is new? King of Wands. They want you out of your character. They don't want you standing on this. They don't want you standing on good intentions. They want you flipping out. This is why they're going to love bomb you and bounce. They want you to act out of character. They want you to act out of so that way they could probably get on camera of some sort. They had this all set up, but it fell through the cracks, collective. And I'm really thinking there was a Cancer and a Virgo involved with this. Four of Wands, Nab of Swords, and Swords. You're standing in your truth. You're nurturing your truth. Right? You're speaking the truth while they watch you. Either that or you're being very observant. You're learning something. You're studying something. You're communicating your words. You're moving forward. You're teaching something. Quite possibly. Either flip it where it needs to go. But somebody's seeing you nurture your truth. And this is why they want to bring about a destruction stability. Okay? There's no commitment. They want you displaced from your higher power. They want you out of your element. So pay attention, collective. They figure by you being out of your element, you're not going to be able to move forward. What they don't understand is you are the element. Nine of Wands. You're winning. Collective, you are winning. You've been through a lot of shit. Okay? You've been through a lot of shit. You're a warrior. A starseed warrior. Cups. Somebody's very bitter at the fact of healing. Could be the Cancer. Like, they really tried to break your heart. They wanted you bitter. They didn't want you nurturing your heart. Yeah. They collaborated with other people to bring this about. To bring about a broken heart. Thank you so much, Art Taylor. Thank you, Marie, as well. Yeah, you took out the trash, collective. You definitely took out the trash. Somebody's lying. They're still lying to this day. They're being very deceptive. And it's not you, collective. There could be very well much a Gemini involved, a Cancer involved, a Virgo involved. Otherwise, there's a lot of deception. There's no truth here in what you've experienced. You've been cheated. You've been love bombed and left for dead. You've been you've a toxic family. You've had to deal with toxic traits due to that toxic family that you're pretty well healed from. You might have had a toxic mother that did nothing to you. And self-sabotage, which didn't teach you a damn thing. And you pretty well had to pick it up on your own. What's the tea, Spirit? What do we really need to know? Is there anything still planned we need to stay ahead of? What do we need to stay aware of? If all this bullshit's going on, how do we stay 10 toes down, 30 toes left? Moving towards the future. Transmuting the past and moving very methodically into the future, into our new beginning. Every step matters. Every step should be intentional. And every step should be a betterment from the day before. That should be your focus, collective. Stay focused on your priorities. Stay focused on your stability. People trying to get you to think about the past and to get you all unstable. They don't want you having wish fulfillment while walking forward. Okay? Their wish fulfillment is for you to be extremely unstable. They want you to fit the bill and the lies that they made about you. That's their game. That's their motive, their objective. They lied a whole bunch. And I don't even need to get into the lies, because you probably already know. It's a bunch of bullshit that was to make and dissuade you from stepping into your true authenticity. That would probably be your soul family, Randy. Yeah, somebody doesn't want you having a utopia or a happy ever after. They don't want you in love. They don't want you having a partnership. They want your love life in absolute chaos. The wheel is not in their favor for this whole idea. Right? But what they want for you. They don't want the wheel going in your favor, and they don't want you having a 10 of cups. Okay? They want your whole world upside down, is what I'm being told. But that's not what happens. That's not what's happening. You're turning pain to power, collective. And that takes guts. You've had no choice but to go through some sort of night of the soul, but in that, it was supposed to end you. But it only empowered you instead. That was not game plan, and this is why they're pissed off. You weren't supposed to succeed higher than they are. Not allowed. And they don't want you having any hope for wish fulfillment, even independently. It's an interesting world we live in, collective. When somebody's got their whole focus on you, and they won't leave you alone, energetically or whatever else. For some of it could be a family member. For some of you it could be an ex-best friend. For some of you it could be an ex. But whoever these people are, delusional. They can't handle your shine. Because despite what you do in all of your life, despite what you've had to deal with, you've still turned out kind-hearted. You're a little bit more ruthless now than what you were before. But you're still kind of hasn't changed you in a sense that, you know, it's made you bitter. And for some odd reason, there'll be some of that. Because they feel like their heart, they've lost their soul, they've lost every aspect of who they are. And here you are, striving and shining and beautiful. Like, it's a sad day for these people because you're winning. It's a sad day for these people because they thought that they could ruin you, bring you about your demise, and get away with it. Deceive you, lie to you, steal from you, eat you, all because they haven't healed. All because they choose to be a coward and not live up to their full potential and stand in their authenticity and integrity. They'd rather let the karmic energy overtake them and overpower them to the point where they absolutely lose themselves. And somehow they make that your problem. Whoever talking about collective that's coming up against you, they are at the point of snapping out. They're at the point of bursting at the seams because of the pressure. I get a feeling they've got themselves caught up. They got themselves caught up in a place where they don't want to be. They kind of feel embarrassed that they let this go that long. That they wasted almost their whole life trying to end you. These particular people that we're talking about, collective, I've known them a long time. I'm getting anywhere from a half to 2/3 to 3/4 kind of your lifetime. You've known these people. And it doesn't matter what you seem to come up against as far as challenges that are literally was supposed to end you, break your heart, bring you to your fucking knees. And yet here you are. Empowered. It's not them that's seeing this. It's other people. And the thing is that these other people that are seeing this happen, some of them are actually inspired by you. And then others are a little bit embarrassed that they got involved with these dumbass karmics to come up against you because they were given a whole bunch of lies and deception and all this other shit that didn't even make sense. The lies didn't even meet who you are as a person. The lies didn't even connect whatsoever. And these karmics are absolutely embarrassed with themselves because these other people aren't buying it. Inked, read the description again, please. Thank you. They're embarrassed with themselves, and I have a feeling that they've gone into isolation. Everything that they wanted for you, they are now experiencing. They have no other choice but to experience it. Because collective, you are divinely guided, guarded, and protected. Not only, not only on the 3D and spiritual realm, but cosmically. Okay? The one thing you don't do, you don't mess with an earth angel, and you sure as hell don't mess with a starseed. Okay? If anything, you're to support the starseed. You're supposed to support the earth angel. You're supposed to support the light workers, because anybody that does, and this goes for shamans, all my light workers, okay? And shadow workers, whatever. Anybody that does the healing and steps into their authenticity, you're stepping into your divine energy. You're remembering who the hell you are. Okay? And when you step into that divine energy, you raise your frequency up. And that puts a guard around you. That puts a guide within your possibilities. And that also protects you in ways that you can't even comprehend here on the 3D plane of existence. But when you come in as a star seed and you're remembering that you're a seed and you're vibing with that star seed energy, and you don't live up to your full potential, I guarantee you, you're going to have a wake-up call in your life to wake you up to that fact that you're a star seed. And you can switch out starseed with earth angel. You can switch it out with chosen. You can switch it out with a light worker, shaman, whatever, mystic. You don't mess with the people that are here to try to heal the earth. And anybody out there wanting war, I'm disgusted. Because this is 2025. And all that's ever been done in the last 2,000 years is trying to silence the light workers, the star seeds, the earth angels, the shamans. That's all they've done for the last 2,000 years is try to silence these people. They'd rather put them up on a cross and sacrifice them than actually hear what they actually have to say. And it seems as though history continues to repeat itself. Over and over and over again. And then the world sits there and wonders why people like us, the light workers, come to Earth. And then they wonder why there's so much chaos. All the karmics across the board, you should be all ashamed of yourselves. Because you're the fucking problem with the world. Okay? You're the problem with the world. And by you not wanting to heal and change that shit, you're creating the chaos. I hope you realize that. And when you say that you're never going to be happy or you're never, yada, 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 you guys are running around, oh my god, it's so chaotic. Running around like a bunch of fucking victims. Not taking any accountability for what you're actually doing and what you're contributing to. Yeah, I'm a little fed up. I myself, I vibe with the starseed energy. I vibe with the earth angel energy. I'm definitely a light worker. Dealing with some crazy ass darkness. What's going on? What's this about missing what? Can we clarify what they're missing out? Or what they wanted the collective to miss out on? Other than the Ace of Pentacles? They wanted you out on the ability to give to others. They didn't want you giving to others. They didn't want you to be able to nurture. They didn't want you to be able to have, to help. They didn't want you having wish fulfillment. They wanted you always trying to defend yourself. But yet here you are, stable, grounded, moving forward anyway, on solid ground. What are why do they want them in their feels? Why do they want them sad? Why do they want them not satisfied? What's the deal with that? They didn't want collaborating with you. They wanted them sabotaging you. More than one can come up against you, collective. But look at that. It only helped you rise. It only helped you bring yourself to your next level. What was meant to be your demise became your rise. They thought they were clever. And they're only coming in to maybe reconcile, to bring you more injustice. Okay? So if you've let them go, if you've got them out of your energy, keep it that way. Because they're only going to bring you chaos. And I don't give a shit if they go through awakening or not. Cut them off. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve to be in your energy. They don't even deserve to even acknowledge you. Let alone think about you. The Five of Swords reverse. Tell me more. Yeah. All they're doing is coming in with a stinky ass cup. That's it. Wishy-washy. They don't give a fuck about you. They never did. They're just obsessed with your energy. They're obsessed with who you are, who you're becoming. You're stepping into your power, Starseed. You're bringing about balance to your life. This is why they want to reconcile. Can't as well join them. No, you lost your fucking chance to join. You should have healed. You should have took the time to reflect on your actions and your intentions of this sabotage. Karmics coming up against the collective like the way you've done. You don't deserve to be back in energy again. You don't deserve to reconcile. We don't want to hear your stinky ass fucking cup of apology. Because we know you're just going to come in and love bomb and bounce again. You don't give a fuck about anybody, not even yourself. And that's what's so embarrassing. Because all you are doing is lower frequency of Mother Earth. You're disrespecting your ancestors. You're disrespecting Mother Nature by not living in your full potential. And you know what? That will be your fucking wake-up call. And your rebirth. And I guarantee you, Karmics, it's going to hurt like hell. Because you didn't bother to heal. You didn't bother to do it. You didn't bother to heed the warning. You didn't bother to hear the message. You didn't bother to open your heart. You didn't bother to open your mind to the possibilities. And now you're literally going headfirst into it. When the collective, they did things right. They opened their mind, their heart. They balanced them out. And they're creating a life for themselves. And low key, they're probably inspiring you. A lot of these karmics really wish they would have listened to you the first time. They're kicking themselves. And they hate themselves so much. Because had they stepped into their authenticity and used a little bit of integrity, they would have fared out a hell of a lot better. But they didn't. They chose to stay in that karmic energy and wreak havoc and chaos. And it didn't get them anything. It got them to the point of losing absolutely everything. Because why? You released it. You released all this third-party bullshit. No longer allowing it to be a factor. What's the Nab of Swords? What are they watching? Well, what are they looking at? Page of Pentacles. They're watching for your instability. That's their entertainment. They're watching and waiting for you to get breadcrumbed. They're watching to see if you stop committing. They're watching to see if their manipulation and all their deception's working. Trying to disconnect you from your higher power. They're watching to see if you're dead yet. If you're in your feels. They're watching to see if you found sanctuary. So that way they can find out where it is and ruin it. But all they're watching is you reveal what was done in the dark. And not only that, they're watching you succeed, be fruitful, and find purpose. Find stability. That's what they're watching. They're watching you work. They're watching you do what you need to do. And not only that, they're watching you be independent, successful. And they're watching you have the wheel of fortune go in your favor. How are they nurturing their truth? By not walking away from the lies, the bullshit. By facing it. By revealing it. By bringing it out from the darkness. And exposing it for what it is. Lies. Tell me more on the Four of Wands reversed. You're putting an end to this instability. Once and for all, collective. Ten of fucking Wands. Page of Swords in reverse and Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay? You're putting an end to the lies, the deception, and energetic cords that were binding you guys together so that way they could siphon off of your abundance. I don't think they realized it was going to hit them, to be honest. Now their whole world is upside down. And they're not satisfied with what's going on. They're not satisfied with the outcome. That's quite unfortunate for them. Not for you. You've had your awakening already. You're on the other side of the fence now. You know? You're on the other side of the thing. You're no longer in your north node energy. Or south node energy. You're in your higher north node energy. Nine of Cups in reverse. You had to make a judgment call. And you made it. And these motherfuckers are facing judgment. Specifically a Queen of Cups in the reverse. For what they've done. They were extremely strategic in how they did what they did. And you revealed it. It's all out in the open. They fucked around and found out the hard way. Welcome in, Dorothy. You not only had to be strategic against all of this strategy, but this kind of flipped out. So I'm going to read it both ways. Is everything that was come up against you to bring about your demise, again, it's going to be your rise. You're getting sevenfold back in blessings, and healing, and empowerment, and purpose. Divine fucking destiny. Something they'll never receive. They'll never even get to know. They can't even hold a candle to you, collective. It's embarrassing. They have, but they can't even hold a candle to you. There's no compete. There's no compare. It's not even a thing. You're not competing with anybody. You're just trying to live your own life. You're just trying to find peace, collective. That's all it is. And that's what you chose to do when you healed. You went within. You healed your trauma. You were inspired to move forward with compassion and intention, authenticity, purpose. Them, on the other hand, what did I just say? Knight of Cups. Because you did that, they sent the fucking devil after you. Thinking they were going to get away with it. They tried to manipulate you. That didn't work either. Why? Because you're made of magic. You're beautiful. And that's their biggest envy. You're beautiful, you're radiant, you shine. You're the light in the fucking darkness. And they can't handle that. And the thing is, collective, they couldn't go through even a quarter of the trauma that you went through and come out as good as you've come of that. All right? Remember that. They couldn't have even had a spoonful of your trauma and got away with it. We said they can't even hold a candle to you. You got nothing but success coming, collective, and you got nothing to worry about. Surrender it to the divine. Stay on the side of the divine. Don't sell your soul like these dumbass karmics. Try to do that to get power. Like, how embarrassing. The divine gives you a soul, gives you a spirit, gives you a body to grow and to manifest your best fucking life, and you go and ruin it and sell your soul to the devil, into the darkness. Like, really? That's embarrassing. This is why you're succeeding, collective. Because you still have your soul intact. Unlike these dumbasses that chose to cheat you and love bomb you and, you know, be destructive. The Queen of Cups in the reverse again. And the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So it's either they want to heal something or they want to open up old wounds or whatever else. They don't think you're healed. Right? They don't think you're healed. They don't think that you're ready for this. Whatever you're going towards to do. When they weren't even ready for their healing and they have a fucking word to say about you? Please, make it make sense. They want you in this bitterness. They want you constantly in this old wounded energy. Constantly going into the past, looking into the past. When all you're trying to do is move forward. Three of Pentacles. By you standing in your truth. Okay? There's two kind of feelings I'm getting from this. Okay? There's a deceptive, very, very deceptive air sign come into your life. Okay? And it was on the account of this Cancer. Okay? There could be even two Cancers involved. But in a particular, it was due to this Cancer. Cancer sign. And this King of Swords came in upright. Or so they looked. But they came in to destroy you. They came in to make they were collaborating with you, only to rip the rug out from underneath you. And I think you stood on justice and you stood on truth to this whole situation. Okay, so I'm kind of reading it in a double whammy here. Double context. Alright? And that is in regards to the Three of Pentacles. Right? So if you stood on truth, you sabotaged their sabotage. Seven of Cups, they wanted you to feel overwhelmed. They wanted you facing illusions. What else about this? Yeah, and leaving you in the dark about it. To bring you a fucking tower. That was their whole prerogative. That was their objective. Well, looky, looky, looky. Look who decided to show up. The Empress Reverse. But the whole thing is they wanted to sabotage you, collective, and make it look like you were self-sabotaging. So that way they keep their hands clean. And they thought they were going to be successful at it. But look who's winning. You want to know how absolutely infuriated they are right now because of that? They're livid. They're snapping their mind. They're snapping out. And I said this earlier. It's just coming out in the cards now. They're snapping out. Because they can't handle that you're still alive. They wanted you quiet. You should have been dead already. But look at you go. Continue moving forward, collective. Alright? Continue moving forward. Be consistent. Be patient. Because you know what? The best is yet to come. And again, last night I was being told to stock up on your popcorn. I'm being told to say that again. And I'm probably going to say that every night till these readings are done. Stock up on your popcorn. It's about to be an interesting show. You've had a big, huge awakening. You see things in a new perspective. You see things in a new light. And it all makes sense now. Everything's clicked. And it was all to make you feel small. It was all to not allow you to step into your full potential. Because if you were to step into your full potential, your gifts would kick in, and you'd find out about all their deception, and all of their lies, and all of the disruption, the chaos. You'd find out all about it. They wanted you in this position. They wanted you trapped in your head. They wanted you overwhelmed. They didn't want you speaking. They didn't want you communicating. They wanted you trapped. But instead, you took a leap of faith. You moved forward. You listened to your intuition and your intention. And you stepped into a new beginning. This is what happens when you tap to the divine. You're not schizophrenic for listening to your inner voice. It's the crazy voices that tell you to go do stupid shit that you need to worry about. You're very grounded and stable, nurturing. Stepping into a new vibration together, collective, and it's going to change your life. So continue to heal, continue to have hope, Because as long as you stay up in the vibration, in the higher vibrations, you're not going to have to worry about this being a situation. Okay? Everything that they do, as long as you stay in good intention and purpose, they can't do shit to you. Focus on that. Don't get all wrapped up in the chaos. Because the more you get wrapped up in the chaos, the more this happens. And this is what they want. Eyes on your intention and your priorities. Nothing else. Okay? Because they're trying to distract you. Remember, they're trying to get you out. They're trying to get you in your feels. They want you bitter. Sabotaging you and your stability. All by nurturing your truth. So they want to destabilize you and your future and your foundation. And that's why they're watching. And this is why they're having no other choice but to come in and consolidate and maybe have a little conversation and reconcile, because they've been tapped the fuck out. Access denied. And some audacity, some utter confusion of audacity and entitlement, they think they're going to come back in again. You got nothing but joy. New tribe coming forward, collective. You're divided. You're divinely guided by angels. Divine timing is your middle name. Nine of Wands. You're a warrior. You've been through so much shit. You've had nothing but chaos and you're still here. You're still winning. One more wand left and you can finally end this out. All this shit that's all the chaos is done. Okay? It's all done. It was all meant to disempower you. But you are sitting here with an energy. You're continuing to be inspired. You're continuing to move forward with an open mind and an open heart. An open intention. They're not happy. They want you to dump out your cup because they know that it's filled with divine love. They don't think you deserve this divine love, so always trust in the divine. Always trust in yourself that you're going to continue to do that. You don't have to dump out your cup for no one. Okay? You don't have to share your cup. You don't have to deplete your cup for anyone. Let them show up for you. But don't let them love bomb you. Okay? These motherfuckers in the past that fucked you over, and you know without a shadow of a doubt they fucked you over, the other ones might be questionable. But there's some that you know 100%. They can come in and apologize. But that doesn't mean you have to let them back in your life again. That doesn't mean you have to entertain their bullshit. Why? Because we've rose from that. And because of their intentions, and because of what they've done to you in the past, you can maybe forgive that to release it, but don't ever forget it. They've already sold their soul and their fucking heels looking for healing. Are they worthy? No. They can sit there and scratch their own heels. You got a new beginning coming. Now they're going to have to be the ones making the decision without all the information. Right? Just like you. They put you in this position and it empowered you. How do you think it's going to be for the karmics? Because they're not built for this shit. This is why they want your powers. This is why they want your gifts. This is why they want your blessings. So they can get through it just like you. Unfortunately for them, by them living a chaotic life and lies, deception, creating trauma after trauma after trauma, not only for the people, but even themselves. And they think they're going to fare out okay? This is why they're desperate, collective. Okay? This is why they're desperate. They're going to come in and say, yeah, what's the secret? How did you get through that? Can you give me some pointers? Pointers to what? Having a good intention? Having a brain? Having honest integrity about yourself? Having a heart? Hold up. Didn't you have all those before? Oh yeah, you sold yourself out. That's right, you cheap fuck. You sold yourself out. And then you're coming to me whining about it? Looking for some healing? Because you didn't want to take accountability for what? Your dumbass bullshit. And somehow, us light workers and starseeds and earth angels and chosen are supposed to pick up the fucking bootstraps for you? Make it make sense. We had no other choice but to grow a pair. We had no other choice but to pull our own fucking bootstraps up. And do what we had to do to step into our new season, new timeline. We reflected, we went in, we did the healing that we needed, we did the shadow work. They can't even look at themselves in the mirror, let alone go within. It's embarrassing. And they call themselves a good person? Hold up. You can't even look in the fucking mirror and say, I love you. It's pretty fucking sad. And yes, karmics, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Because ever since the day you were born, you were given the divine light within you and you forgot all about it. You want to know why the devil's the keeper of the light? You know, the light bearer? It's because he steals your light. That's why. It's a false light. He needs to steal all the other light from everyone else in order to be all light and happy. In order to give his deception and all his illusions and everything else. He needs your light. And because you sold your fucking soul to dumbass, expect. Because you know what? You want to know why I call him a dumbass? Because had he not deceived the divine, he would have still been in his angel form. He wouldn't be a fucking demon. Okay? That's why he's a dumbass. And all the karmics look just like them. As if. I didn't even shuffle the cards yet. And look what's at the bottom of the deck. The Star. And I did the cards, I guarantee you that. I trust you, Max, but what are these people actually saying? Oh, okay. I get you. I totally trust you, Max. I'm just curious. I'm clearly triggering them. I'm clearly triggering them. What the hell do we need to know, my divine ones? What do we need to know on a brighter note? Divinely guided, guard protected. The karmics can't touch this. You can't touch this. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. You can't touch this. What do we need to know? Chaos is about to be ensued upon your karmics, collective. Get ready. It's going to be a good show. The 10 of shells. Looky, looky, looky. I got a hooky. The 10 of shells. The 10 of cups. Guess what? You're getting your utopia anyway. You're getting your love, getting the happy white picket fence. You're getting the house. You're getting everything. You get happy family. And they can't touch this. Access denied. Oh, baby. Shells. 9 of shells. You're also going to be able to be independent to this. So you're not only independent, but you're going to find your tribe, collective. Okay? You're going to get your wish fulfillment whether they like it or not. On an individual basis and as a collective basis. Six of acorns on the bottom of the deck. Success, triumph, victory, recognition, and all they can do is sit and watch, if they're not dead yet. Yeah, access denied. Access fucking denied. Ooh, 10 of crystals, eh? No love, no legacy. Is that what they wanted? Is that what they wanted for you, collective? Because that's what they're getting. That's what they're getting. And they're going to come up against the starseed and win? Oof. That's like bad karma just in itself. Okay? And it just proves how much of a fucking dumbass they are. Okay? It literally proves how much of a dumbass they are. Thinking that they can get one over on you. Yay, yay, yay. Justice? High Priest? We tapped in, collective. We tapped in. Page of Feathers. All they can do is watch. All they can do is watch. You're discovering a new person and a new part of yourself as well. And you're leaving them in the dark. They could very well be spying on you. They could very well be discovering this new idea that you have. They may be trying to do it in the dark. They're not happy at what they're discovering, that's for sure. Because even so, they took away your love life and your ability to love. They tried to get it to where you didn't love yourself. They wanted you to make you feel like you weren't worth it. You weren't worthy of love. That's how sick and twisted they are. Okay? And the thing is they tried to take away your legacy, your stability, your attainment, your achievement. They tried to take away your money. They tried to take everything. Your ability to succeed even. And to have wish fulfillment. But no, it's not the case. They're having to deal with the aftermath of the chaos they created for themselves. Well, for you, they fell in it. Yep, Queen of Feathers. Could be talking about a Gemini, Aquarius. Could be more than one person. It could be a whole bunch of people. Both the masculine and a feminine air sign. Guaranteed we're involved in the collusion of all this shit. As well as a Cancer and a Virgo. Multiple Cancers, actually. Seven of Shells. They wanted you overwhelmed. Okay? They wanted you having so many choices, you couldn't make a choice. And I think you're that fucking talented, you had too many choices to make. And which made you have a hard time making those choices. Like, this is from when you were small, growing up. That's one of the starseed traits. Starseeds are extremely talented because they've lived many lives. They have a lot of inner knowledge. And if they tap into that, they can literally become unstoppable. And this is what they don't want. They don't want you to be unstoppable. They don't want you to be that freight train in their life. Specifically if they're running after the caboose trying to get on. Which I can totally see them running behind the train. And it's funny that that came out because I did the harmonica train song last night. Go check it out if you want. The train has left the station. Please remain seated until our next stop. Eight of Feathers, Eight of Swords. Courage and solutions. You literally had no other choice but to go within in order to deal with what you were dealing with, because there was a lot of deception, a lot of lies. You had to question absolutely everyone that you've ever had a correspondence with. You questioned every relationship you ever had because of these motherfuckers. And when things started adding up and when dots were starting to connect and things were starting to make sense, it all fell into place now, didn't it, collective? It all started to make sense. And the people that you brought this information up to, All they did is gaslight you, as if it was your collective. You're just delusional. Stop being so sensitive. Typical fucking narcissistic bullshit. No. Now you're taking action drive after having to turn your pain to power. Now you're inspired. This is why the train has left the station. You've had a huge awakening. You've had the dark night of the soul of your life. These dumbass coward karmics are trying to avoid it. They're trying to go around it. They're trying to go above it. They're trying to go under it. They're too fucking much of a coward to go through it. And it's really sad on their point. Because you actually had some sort of compassion towards these people at one point. And now they're an absolute embarrassment to their ancestors. It's a sad fucking day for them. That's for sure. Because now they're realizing where they went wrong. No other choice but to look at it. They've been given no other choice with Saturn return. Okay? They're going through it. If they don't look like they're going through it, they're going through it on an internal basis. They're being pulled into themselves. Every time they look at themselves in the mirror, they're being reminded. And a lot of them, they've lost, maybe they've had some sort of guides or whatever at some point. They've lost all their ability. They've lost all of their protection. They've lost all of it. Because they're a disgrace to humanity. And this isn't just the water signs. This is karma across the board. They're a disgrace to humanity, and they're a disgrace to their ancestors. The ancestors are rolling in their fucking graves right now. Why did they live? Why did they work? Why did they sacrifice all their sweat, blood, and tears for them cowards? For them not to live up to their full potential? Make it make sense. And they've got only themselves to blame. That's it. Ending my chat, Christian. I know you're chanting my name, and I thank you, but come on now. We're all winners here, collective. The Five of Shells in reverse. You had to learn all over again on how to love yourself. Find your self-worth. Find what mattered to you. What were your priorities? What were these emotions that you were feeling? You found out a lot of it was just spiritual warfare. All the anxiety and the panic and all the depression and everything. It was spiritual fucking warfare from these motherfuckers. These karmics, these cowards that didn't want you playing into the best version of yourself. And now all they wanted for you was chaos. They wanted nothing working out for you. They didn't want you having any type of protection. And this is what they get for coming for you. And feeling it now, they're in for extreme rude awakening, collect. Extreme rude awakening. They wanted you to suffer. And they don't understand. Okay? You don't even understand the energy they put in behind the scenes to bring about your demise. You don't even understand how much money they put in and invested in this. They probably invested your inheritance that they stole from you into ending you, trying to come for you. They wasted all that time and money when you could really change the world with that money. You could have changed your life, at least, with that money. And now they're dealing with chaos because of it. Every bit of potential that they kept you from is coming back to bite them. It's coming back as karma for them. The divine knows your potential before you even set foot on this earth. The divine executes this plan of action for you in order to remember throughout this life that you live, that you grow into. You have two choices. You can live up to your fullest potential or fall from grace. It's your choice. This is why I've been on here for the last year and a half telling you go and heal. Take some time out for yourself and heal. So that way you can empower yourself. I did it for myself. I'm speaking from my own experience. And I'm here to help walk you through. Day after day after day after day after day. You think it's just readings I'm offering? I offer coaching sessions too. Let's get you in focus of your highest timeline. What's holding you back? Let's get you into a new perspective on and how to look at it. That way you can step into your higher timeline. Step into your authenticity. That's what we're here for. It's not just tooting out these collectives every night. 10 of feathers. Oh, now they want to come back and reconcile because you said that, Aiden. Now they're going to come at you for your help because you said that, Aiden. And they're nothing but a bunch of cowards. Karmic cowards. Oh, Aiden, I should have listened to you the first time. Yeah, no fucking clue, right? No fucking clue. Give your fucking heads a shake. 5 of feathers. Oh, they're talking. Oh, they're talking. They can't stop talking. They need to shut the fucking mouth. And go with themselves. And stop throwing rumors and all this bullshit around. Sit the fuck down and start taking notes. Pay attention in class already. Knight of Crystals. It's not a race. It's not a marathon. It's about endurance. It's about one step, one breath, one moment at a time. Nothing more, nothing less. Stepping into your integrity, stepping into your purpose, stepping into your intention. Your intention, your first intention is to heal. Your second intention is to empower yourself. And love yourself. Forgive yourself for putting yourself through all this chaos. And then step into your fucking power like you always meant to. I can't do it all myself. You're an asshat. Whoever that could be, you're an asshat. I'm just triggering the fuck you. That's okay. Just trying to manipulate the chat. Funny how I come out with the magician in reverse, just as they're popping in chat. Yeah, bitching about the past and focused on the future. Ruthless. I like them that way. The reason why you stepped up, Collective, is because you're not satisfied with what you got. It's one thing to be satisfied and grateful for what you have, yes, but you know you deserve better. You've received. And this is why you cut ties. This is why you rearrange your priorities to step forward into something beautiful. This is push by the divine about your self-worth. It's not about ego. Has nothing to do with ego. Has nothing to do with being better than someone else. It all has to deal with being better than the version you were yesterday and stepping into something higher, higher frequency than what you were in prior. It's about learning from your experiences and setting standards for yourself. Creating boundaries so that way you're no longer being manipulated by toxic motherfuckers. Okay? That's what it's all about. Has nothing to do with ego. Has nothing to do with being better than anyone else. But they try to make it out like that and gaslight everybody to make you think like, oh yeah, he's just full of himself. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh really? Why the fuck am I training you? Doing great, Diego. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It wasn't heartbreaking. Your heart was already broken. Four of shells. You deserve better. Hey X, they're saying, I must admit I fell hard. The divine's intervention was a heartbreaking but opened my eyes to truth. I am now in songs of healing and understanding that I am worthy. That's beautiful, X. But you know what? The fact that divine will not break your heart. I'm telling you that right now. Your heart was already broken. The divine what opened you up. The divine is what lights the truth. That sheds the light on the truth. That's the situation. So get it right. The divine is what's helping you heal by shedding the light on the truth. It will piss you off. Then it will set you free. And it's meant to do that. So what are you going to do, Collective? What are you going to do about the next 30 days? I mean, we've got the summer solstice already right around the corner. We're already near June 20th. And spring has barely happened. Are we looking for an Indian summer? To all of you out there that are protesting your time, a lot of you are making yourselves look like a bunch of dumbasses. And yes, I love the whole idea of standing in solidarity, don't get me wrong. I love the fact of like walking and parading around and speaking and holding signs and sharing your view. 100% I'm with you, I stand with you. But what is it solving? What is it really doing other than making noise? Like, the truckers went around the world protesting, and they were made out to be absolute buffoons. Haven't you learned a fucking lesson yet? And all that was about right to choice. To make your own fucking decision. And not having somebody stick their fucking hand up your ass like a puppet to get you to do whatever the fuck they wanted. Despite your feelings, despite your view. Who's done being a puppet? Who wants to live by their own higher frequency intention? This is the big question. It's up to us, individually, collective, how we show up in the world. The example that we create, not only for ourselves, but for other people. It's coming to a precipice where things are getting a little too chaotic, and it's very difficult to not get tied into the fear and fear-mongering and the propaganda and the bullshit. But that's how they try to gain control. That's how they try to diminish our high frequency. There's so many distractions out there. When a lot of us, we should be focusing on ourselves and going within. Healing the trauma and turning the pain to power. That in itself is healing. It's not all up to me. I'm just the messenger. Be triggered, be mad, be furious, be sad, be heartbroken, be whatever you need to be. Be whatever you need. Leave me out of the fucking drama. I'm the messenger. I'm here to point you in the right direction. Even though I'm geographically challenged, I'm definitely spiritually strong. It doesn't matter how geographically challenged I am, I still know where I'm going. Why? Because I allow my heart and my mind to come into balance, and I let that guide me through my intention, my intuition, and my purpose. And as long as you step forward with good integrity, intention, a kind, compassionate heart, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. Because everything else will fall into place. By divine light, make it so. The world is waiting for you to show the fuck up. And it doesn't mean that they want... The divine doesn't want you protesting. The divine wants you making positive impacts in the world for yourself and for others. Support your communities. Show some fucking compassion. It's literally the only thing that we have left. And half the world wants to go to war? For what? To say who's bigger gun? Is the gun gonna feed you? Is the gun gonna bring peace to your world? No, it's not. It's gonna bring death and destruction. And that in itself, as it's very karmic. And I'm talking about everybody around the world. We had World War I, we had World War II, we had the Gulf War, we had the war in Afghanistan and Iran and Iraq and all this other stuff. The Middle East has been in war their whole lives. As long as they're alive, they've been at war. I figured they might have learned something from that. A new respect for humanity through that. God knows it's questionable for the rest of the world. But if we continue this chaotic pathway, it's not going to bring us anywhere good. War does not bring peace. It brings silence. And the silence is deafening. The silence is the unspoken word. The silence is the words that were never said. The silence, the words that were never able to be even thought of, let alone verbalized. The silence is the death of the divine within the beating heart of humanity. The silence is deafening. So yes, there are people around the world that should be ashamed of themselves. They should sit in that shame for what they've done. For what they've orchestrated. They should all be ashamed of themselves. This is 2025. Not 1952 or 56. Not 1990. Not 1986. Or 87. It's 2025. We should look at all these man-made prophecies and try not to bestow them upon the world. We should actually use our fucking brains and our hearts together. Bring them to balance. To bring about a discernment. To bring about a peace. Mother Earth is waiting for you to wake the fuck up, to give your head a shake, and to into your highest timeline, to live your best life, to bring about the peace on Earth that she's always wanted to have. But that requires all of us to go within ourselves. And if you can't even do that, then what are you doing with yourself? What are you doing with your life? And this is the biggest question I have for you tonight. What are you actually doing with your life? How are you making the best impact in the world? That should be your biggest question to yourself. And if you're part of the chaos, you might need to reflect a little deeper as to find out where this chaos results from. Diego, have you looked at the world? Stop gaslighting yourself. Karma take care of it and not involved in the bullshit. Yeah. How's that working out for you, Diego? You can't go out the front door without stepping some sort of karmic bullshit. You can't go have an absolute half-decent job without dealing with some karmic bullshit. Try to be yourself, Diego, and then you get ridiculed and slammed because of it. Step into your power, step into your light, and get ridiculed for it. Totally downplayed, stalked, belittled. I'm fed up. So yeah, I'm going to talk on it. Yeah, I'm going to call it out. Yeah, I'm going to shed some light on it. Because people are karmic and they don't even realize they're karmic. Awareness is everything. Once you're aware of it, you have an option to change it. You either have an option to comply to it, or you have an option to change it, to transmute it, to make it into something beautiful. It's the snowball effect, actually. Because every generation doesn't heal their trauma, and then that's the trauma onto their next generation. Why? Because they try to fill the void that they can't fill themselves with the child, and then the child has to pay for all the pain and the suffering that the family did. And then they wonder why they don't come out with anything decent. They gaslight each other until they get old, until they die, and then they don't have to deal with it. They don't have to take accountability for it, and the next generation has to carry it, has to deal with it. Because they don't want to take accountability and responsibility for it. But somehow we're supposed to make ourselves rich and happy, white picket fence, a big huge house, and everybody's happy. You know what? I don't have to give revenge, Diego, because they're doing it to themselves. They make themselves look like a bunch of idiots. I'm just calling it out. Reversing it, transmuting it. I'm 42 years old, and I've been waiting at least 20 of that 40 years old for peace to happen, because I figure it's 20 something, you know, we should fucking get together already. But yet here we are. Still trying to figure out who's got the bigger gun, like, solving anything. It's not solving fuck all. Guns are meant for hunting. They're not meant for killing people. That's the initial reason why we have guns. To hunt for food. But this is where mad science gets in the way and blows it out of proportion. Just like the last 5 years. Science is all great, right? It helps us discover new things. Right? It helps us discover cures for this and that and whatever else. But then they get into the mad science and think they're going to rewrite the genome and think Bob's your uncle. No, he's actually your cousin. Sorry. Or your psychopathic neighbor. And somehow we're supposed to make sense of it all. Like, really. Azes, have you ever seen Warehouse 13? It's a good series. It was taken off the air because it was spitting truth. You're gaslighting yourself, Gigi. Make a good out of the bad. You're trying to make the bad look good. The bad is bad. It's not meant to look good. And you know what? Let's erase, just for a moment, let's erase all the trauma. Let's erase all the war. And just kind of picture it. What would it look like? And you know what? Our brains can't even fathom what it would look like. Because we've dealt with so much chaos. We've been so programmed and so bombarded by this chaos that we haven't had a chance to know what life is like. Because whether we're on the east side of the world, you know, or the west side, doesn't matter. We're still running for our lives, just in a different scenario. So when does all this change? Because we are that fucking change in this world. It's not about letting these dumbass motherfuckers decide and dictate what's going on with the world. And no amount of revolt, no amount of protesting, no amount of riots, no amount of any of that bullshit is going to help. No amount of wars is going to make it better. Until we go within ourselves, each individually, collectively. We realize where we went wrong individually. We learn from that and we make it better. Not only just for us, but our communities, our surrounding community. When we start showing up for our brothers and sisters and cousins and people around us and our communities, things start changing. And you know what? I'm proving it right now with this tribe. When we show up here every night and I give readings and all the support that goes on in the chat, you know how many lives we're saving? over the last year and a half. It's over 500 lives I know that I've saved. Just from my readings alone. That doesn't even count the chat. So I don't need to go buy a property to go have a sanctuary like I wanted. Because that dream was broken. So I made myself a channel here on YouTube. I can make a bigger impact across the world this way. And I'm honored to be here. And spiritual warfare that's being thrown at me, I rebuke it and I send it back to sender. I don't want your stanky ass energy. You can keep it. Access fucking to rebuke it. I send it back and I banish it. Any ill will sent to me or my tribe, we don't want your fucking stank ass energy. Let it smack you in the side of the fucking head. I don't even have the time and the patience to transmute that shit. Let it be bound to you. Indefinitely. Let the soul of yourself, whatever's left of it, feel what you've done to the world. Let you feel the cost that you've ensued into the world. I call my power back to me from anywhere, any realm, anyone, anything that holds any type of audacity and what's the word I'm looking for? Entitlement to my energy or my tribes. Cut any cords that no longer serve me, so that way I can make room for nothing but abundance and blessings and growth and healing. Let any ill will sent my way or to my tribe, let it be sent back to sender indefinitely, and let it be bound to them for eternity. Until they choose to learn about perfect love and perfect trust within their heart. Let the divine show them what compassion really is. As above, so below, as within, so without, and so it is. Collective, I absolutely love you. To my tribe, you make every day doing this worth it. And to all the karmics and the fools, you're making a fool of yourself. Give your fucking heads. You deserve better in life. We all deserve better in this life, despite all our pain, trauma that we've experienced, despite the bitterness that we still have in our hearts, because they just won't let up. This is your reading. I'll tell you one thing. The internal embrace of the divine, there's no words. There's no words to explain how it feels to be empowered by the divine. That divine light has been within you the whole time. Don't ever forget that, no matter where, no matter what challenges you have. Individually and on a collective basis, we have the power to change the world. And it's to us to make it happen. And that doesn't mean go out and judge people because of the way they live their life. The only reason why I come on here and I talk the collective karmic energy is to empower us to rise above it. That's the only reason why I'm on here and talk about it. Because I know we can do better on an individual basis as well on a collective. And it's going to take absolutely every single one of us to make it happen. So if you think that you don't have what it takes to make an impact in the world and you're part of this tribe, I'll tell you right now, you already are making an impact. If you think you're worthless and you have no purpose and everything else, I got news for you. You're already doing it. You just have to step into it. It's here waiting for you to show the fuck up. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's always been here. It's been calling out to you within the deep crevices of your soul, in your mind, in your heart. And a lot of you are tuning it out, like it's just a voice in your head. Am I schizophrenic? The only words, the only voices that you should be banishing out are the ones that are telling you stupid. To hurt, to harm a person, that's stupid shit. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't give a fuck what bench you're on. I don't care. Don't care where you are in the world. You all matter. And you shouldn't have to run from your hometown and where you grew up. You shouldn't have to run there because you don't feel safe. You should be able to stay where you grew up. And your land should be at peace, wherever you are around the world. You shouldn't have to have your gun in your hand walking down the street. You shouldn't have to carry a gun in your fucking holster in order to protect yourself. You should automatically be protected within your community. You shouldn't have to worry about the psychopath that lives in the street because he just got out of jail after doing 3 months instead of life in prison. When are we going to make the change? When are we going to make the choice? That's the question. The divine is waiting. And on that note, if you can't be good at it, at least be good to yourself. So that way, you can be good to others. Thank you so much for the donations tonight. To my supporters, I love you. My members, my subscribers, my tribe. I love you all. And I'll catch you in the next one.